What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we take a look at Devil Story from Vinegar Syndrome. Stay tuned. What in the actual name of fuck did I just watch? Jesus, this wow. I'm trying to figure out where to start with this one. For one, there is no devil, and there's definitely no fucking story. Oh, this was a tough watch to get through. Even from the opening scene, when you have someone out collecting firewood and skipping along as they collect this firewood for whatever fucking reason, to the beginning kills. I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie because I just really don't care at this point. If you're really wanting to watch this and not have everything spoiled, then definitely just click off this video now, because it's just gonna be full of spoilers, because I don't know what else to say or talk about with this one. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as my last video. It's the same day, so, you know, whatever. Get over it. This movie irritated the hell out of me. It says on IMDb that it's like some kind of Nazi zombie or some shit. There's no zombie. There's no, like, Nazi. He's got, like, the SS emblems on the jacket that he wears, but other than that, there's no, like, reference to anything like that. He's just a deformed old man or whatever. So yeah, it's not zombie related, it's not Nazi related. Any of that you see there on the cover as well, with the symbol. So yeah, for one, the kills in this are absolutely terrible. People are still obviously fucking breathing after they're supposedly dead. The blood that comes out is just over the top ridiculous, which I'm usually okay with, but, you know, to still be breathing as well, it's just like, come the fuck on, you know, pick one or the other. There is plenty of gore, it's just not done very well. You get a scene in here where a woman is shot, and I have no idea where the hell she was shot at. There's just blood, and I don't see any puncture wounds or anything like that. Yeah, this movie's just a fucking mess. You have a couple that gets, I'll say, stranded at this castle. You have an old man and an old woman there, and I don't really know what was going on there. I guess there was supposed to be some kind of story to that, but I just really didn't give a shit. And you have this big, huge castle that they're in, and they only utilize like a little bit of it. So whether or not they actually shot in this exterior of this castle is what's inside, I don't know, because you don't really see much of it once they're in there. It would have been kind of cool if they would have like explored the castle and things would have happened. It could have went that route with it, but instead this deformed thing just goes around and kills people, and you have an old man out with a shotgun with seemingly unlimited ammo, trying to kill this horse that he says is like the devil or something. Maybe that's the devil story. I don't know. And just trying to kill this thing for half of the fucking movie or more, which is obviously not shot in the same area, because there's parts where it's completely dark where the guy is and still kind of light where the horse is, and even the camera has like a different feel to it, as far as the like grain and things like that of it. I don't know, you can just completely tell they're not shot together. They're not in the same scene together in real life. But yeah, that just goes on for what seems like forever throughout the whole film. The only redeeming quality in here, and if I had to rate this, I haven't done a letterbox review on this yet, but when I do, probably later after this video, it's going to get a half a star, not even a full fucking star. Now, if the main actress in here would have gotten naked, I may have given it a whole star, because she is actually pretty fucking good looking. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but yeah, all she does pretty much, though, for the first half of it or so she's on camera is just fucking scream. Yeah, so you guys get a taste of what you're in store for there. There's even a part where she's trying to escape the grasp of this old woman, and she just can't seem to get away. I mean, she finally does, but it's like, how strong is this old woman that you can't get your leg away from her hands? Like, you're in like your fucking 20s and in shape. You've done all this running and everything else. You're obviously pretty fit, and you can't escape the grasp of this 90-year-old fucking woman. So that's pretty amusing as well. Stuff going on in the background, sorry. It's, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. I mean, you got a fucking pirate ship that comes out of the side of a mountain. Not really sure why with that either. I know there was some backstory being told by the old woman at the castle. But yeah, you have this ship that just comes out, looks fake as hell. And then after that, you get a mummy that appears that looks terrible. And after its face is kind of ripped off, you see the underskeleton, and you see the actor's eyes really well through the eye slots. And it's got this shit just like going out of its mouth and looks like paint or something. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good and easy on movies in general. Like, I let a lot of things slide. I let a lot of bad movies just, have some redeeming quality or something. I just couldn't find any in this, besides the main actress being pretty damn good looking, and you do get to see her backside pretty well as she's being carried, and you do get a scene in here where she's pretty jiggly in a moment. But other than that, that's about the only redeeming quality of this fucking movie. So I'm never this harsh on film. This movie just irritated the fuck out of me. I'd rather have another kidney stone or root canal or put my nuts in a fucking vice grip than watch this fucking movie again. You'd have to Clockwork Orange my fucking eyes to get me to sit through this again. I can't recommend this at all. Now, I will say, I watched this by myself. If you watch this, if you still want to watch this for whatever godforsaken reason, watch it with a group of people, because it may be somewhat entertaining then, but by yourself, I just wanted it to be over. And it's not even a very long movie. It's only 76 minutes, and it felt like for fucking ever. It's just so painful of an experience. I didn't even finish it in one night. I couldn't take any more of it, and it progressively got worse. Like, it started out okay with the first couple kills. Yeah, they're still breathing after they're killed, whatever, at least stuff's going on, at least things are happening, and then it just gradually got worse. Like, I thought it would get better, and no, it went the other direction. So I'm irritated at this movie. I'm pissed off at it. Am I gonna keep it in the collection? Yeah, because I'm a completionist, for one, and two, maybe I'll need it down the line for a worst movies ever video, or to have people over and say, hey, you want to see the worst fucking movie in my collection? Here it is. Definitely the worst movie I've seen from Vinegar Syndrome. Way up there with worst movies ever, though. It's not good, guys. This has a 3.4 on IMDb, so which a lot of Vinegar Syndrome releases fall in like that category, but are still at least entertaining enough. This was the one I was least excited for by the trailer that I watched, and it didn't prove me wrong. So the trailer looked like shit. It was really grainy and hard to really see, so I kind of had a little bit of hope for it. Maybe, once it's cleaned up and everything, it'll be a decent movie, but no. As far as the transfer on here, it's decent. It's not great. There is still a lot of scenes where you have like lines going down the middle of the film and everything. But I'm sure Vinegar Syndrome did the best they could with the elements provided. I don't believe this ever even had a DVD release. I think it was only available on VHS. Yeah, this is a French film, the only only horror film to be made in Normandy, which we find out from one of the features, which I'll go over here in just a few. Now, the end of this movie, okay, here's main spoilers. Everything was just a fucking dream. Or was it? The ending of it was probably the best fucking part. Not just because it was finally fucking over, but because it actually had some kind of story there. It was like, okay, was she dreaming all this? Did this really happen? This old lady's telling her. These people are still here. They're just out getting stuff. And, you know, it makes you kind of wonder if it was or not. That's the only kind of other redeeming quality this had. But it's just a mess. And I'm going to get to why a lot of this was a mess here in a second when we go over the features here. But take a look at the inside again here. I know I just showed this on my live stream I did, but here is the reverse art, the back of it, and your disc art, same as the slip. I really wanted to at least have fun with this, but the fun factor's just not there. It's just very lacking for me. I mean, even on the back cover, you start seeing a little bit. So you think, at least we're going to see that, right? No. This movie fucking blue balls the shit out of you. Not just in the sense of nudity, but in the sense of it actually somewhat becoming a good film, you know? It's just like, it's so aggravating. But, yeah, let's go over the features, guys. Grab my notes here. So, before I do, though, other films from this director, I know I'm making this review really short because I don't know what to say about this movie. It's just, I can't recommend it at all. I can't even recommend streaming it. Just avoid this shit altogether. Unless you're a subscriber and it comes to you, maybe watch it because you own it. That's the only thing I can say. But, some of his other films, I have no idea how they're pronounced because they're all French films. You have a 3.1. You have a 2.0. These are the IMDb ratings. A 3.5. A 4. Another 4. And then you actually have one that is a 5.5. So 5.5 is this director's highest rated film on IMDb, which is actually really good as far as like a Vinegar Syndrome title would be concerned. So maybe they should have released that one. I don't know. And this I saw was, you know, one that people seemed excited was being released, and I just want to know why. Like, oh man, even in some of the features they were showing some of the screenings and stuff, and people were applauding at the end, maybe because the movie was over or because they actually enjoyed it. I don't know which one, but I don't know how. I mean, a couple of the kills are a little bit laughable, granted, but it's just not enough to justify purchasing this on its own or really sitting through this film. It's just not enough there to justify all of that. Anyways, I digress from shitting all over this movie. I always say I know what it takes to make a film. I've talked with many filmmakers in the past, and I know what they put into it and everything. But during the interviews of some of this stuff with the director, he goes out to make the cheapest movies and everything. So you know what? If that's your goal, is just to make really cheap movies and make a profit and not make a good film, then fuck you. You know. So, all right. Features. You have Once Upon a Time, Devil Story, The Making of, which runs 34 minutes and 12 seconds. Again, they go over this being the only horror movie ever made in Normandy. I don't know if that still stands true or not, but at least at the time it was. You have the director in here, and you have the main actress in here talking. She still looks pretty decent for her age. I will give her that. talking about the director was a film salesman before becoming a director and everything. And the director actually has a small part in this movie. Gets killed off pretty quick. Same guy played the mummy and the monster, so there's a little tidbit for you. As well as the main chick plays the blonde, and she plays this daughter or missing girl or whatever that the mummy brings back to life. Here's where we get to a little bit of why this movie's so fucking bad. It was only like 52 or 55 minutes of actual film, done when they called it a wrap. So the director had to pad this movie and try to make it 80 minutes. So there's a lot of stuff, especially with the horse scene. A lot of that was added in for padding of this movie. So that does explain a little bit of why this turned out so bad. And you come to find out too, the main actress actually quit acting after this movie and turned her sights on business side of things. So at least you get some interesting facts about the film. So you kind of understand why. They had a very low budget, they didn't have enough film shot and everything, so they had to pad the hell out of this movie. So and then you get a 2018 interview with the director, Once Upon a Time. Bernard interview here. Runs 28 minutes and 12 seconds. Talks about how he started his career in 1947, that he met this woman who was an editor that was way older than him. They kind of fell in and out for each other, things like that. Kind of were together. Then he went to the military. Then he got out. They kind of got back together. So she showed him, how editing was done and everything, and how he took a job with Paramount as like a packer of the film canisters, things like that. And then finally, I think it was like 4 years later, he moved up to being the salesman, and goes through his film career, talks about the other movies that he did, and admitting of, again, padding the movie mainly with the horse scenes and everything, and also how his sons got into the business and purchased a theater, and then had even a bigger theater after that, an 8-screen cinema to show movies. And it's a boring interview, though. I struggled to watch the whole thing, but I did it for you guys, so you know what the interview is about. Other than that, you do get features on here. It's newly scanned and restored in 4K, presented in both its original French language soundtrack and English dub. I did watch this in the English dub, so maybe it is better with the subtitles, but I just really didn't feel like reading. I had to read through both features, so there was an hour of reading, which is actually less than not less than the movie is, but less than the movie originally was. Of course, I went over the other features here, interview with the writer-director, and the making of with the cast and crew, select scenes with commentary by director. He didn't even want to do commentary on this whole fucking movie because even he knows it's a piece of shit. So, no, I don't know the reason why. I did not watch the commentary because I'm not watching this again. At least not right now and not by myself. So, you get French TV coverage, original trailer, reverse cover art, the English subtitles, and region free. So again, everybody all over the world can suffer this movie together, I guess. But I feel bad that this review is just me shitting all over this movie, but this right here is the best thing about this movie. The slip is awesome. I don't know what their point of this was. I don't know what the purpose of this film is. And watching these features, a lot of people that are even fans of this movie don't even know. So they just love how it's so nonsensical and doesn't make sense. I just kind of said the same thing twice there. But anyways, I just don't know what he was going for in this. Just to shock people. You got to have some kind of story. Even if it's a simple story, it's got to be at least something. And there was just nothing here. There was no meat to the story at all. I didn't give a shit about anybody in this movie. There's dialogue, and it doesn't really even matter, honestly. If you watch this in the dub, or in the original with the subtitles, there's very little dialogue. Half this movie or more, there's no real speaking, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. But some of the dialogue that is spoken is just ridiculous. Like, the old lady telling her at the end that her husband went to go get his tire fixed, but yet he drove the car to go get his tire fixed. So if your tire's fucked up, how the fuck are you driving? There's scenes with her trying to start the car and everything, and this creature trying to attack her. It's like, why don't you just go to the fucking door where she's hanging halfway out of and grab her out of there? Instead you're just gonna attack the hood and just like bleed all over the fucking car. I don't know. I don't know why some of these decisions are made like this. There's a scene where she sets him on fire using gasoline, and then next thing you know, hey, she's out of gas. Well, imagine that. It's just like, what? I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this, except it can only get better from here, right? For the September package. I guess I'll keep going in order of the ones I was most excited for, or least excited for. So next up will be Shallow Grave will be next. Even though it does look like a better film than Blades, I'm more excited for Blades because of the cheese factor that I think it's going to have. So we'll see. Let me know if you guys have seen Devil Story, and if you suffered through, or if you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, tell me why, because I really want to know. Alright, trying to keep these reviews around 20 minutes, so I'm going to end it here. And, better luck on the next movie. So, as always, guys, peace, love, happiness to all of you. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.
Je l'aurai, cet animal du diable, même si je dois y laisser ma carcasse.